past week, memes have been sweeping the internet that involve a few different things. Number 1, the Titanic. 2, the Titan. And 3, rich billionaires doing absolutely crazy things with their money. So this past week, there is a company called OceanGate that launched another expedition to the Titanic in this 5-man submarine called the Titan. OceanGate is a company that was started in 2009 by Stockton Rush, who created this 5-man submersible vehicle that has actually been doing some expeditions successfully down to the Titanic. But their most recent one that included the CEO and 4 other souls on board ended up the entire thing imploding. They lost contact, and it can only be assumed that all 5 lives have officially been lost due to what could possibly come out later as a technical error on one of the 17 bolts that held this contraption together, which was a little bit skeptical of myself, considering that they piloted it with a joystick and he got parts for it from Camping World. This is a horrible maritime tragedy, and I don't really appreciate all the memes made at the expense of these 5 people who lost their lives in the name of exploration and science. My heart goes out to their families. And in pure internet fashion, what do we love to do when there's a tragedy in the world? Make memes and jokes about it. In my personal opinion, they are all honestly disgusting and very distasteful. Things like, the ocean is eating the rich a little too literally right now. They're honestly just disgusting, and I have to say, we as society need to do better than making jokes and glorifying blatant disasters, tragedies, and the loss of human life. It's not funny, and if it were one of your family members or yourselves, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be laughing then. But because they're multi-billionaires who, rightfully so, some people might be a little bit jealous of, we make jokes about it at the expense of others. Imagine one of their family members going on TikTok and seeing the amount of jokes, memes, and just pure disaster written about them. It's sad. But I will say, like the Democrat politicians always say, don't let a good disaster go to waste. So, the Titan departed on the 18th. So the United States Navy detected the implosion on Sunday, but only released it to us and the media Thursday. Coincidentally, the exact same day that all this Hunter Biden scandal came out to the public. Coincidence? I think not. Now, I will say, I think it's actually sort of pretty cool that this private guy was able to create a submarine as high-tech, arguably like the military, with stuff that he was able to order off of Amazon and Camping World. It's not necessarily his fault that something went wrong 13,000 feet below the surface and it imploded, which at this point in time yet, we're not even sure if it was his fault to begin with. Nature totally could have done something that caused this ultimate disaster. But we're not even going to talk about the fact that the militaries from across the globe have maritime accidents all the time, but no one ever gets on to them for it because, you know, they spend billions of dollars on it and they're the military, so no one says squat. But the time that this private investor was able to create something of equal or greater magnitude of the Navy, and it happens to go wrong, which sometimes does happen, now we're gonna make memes about that? Hunter Biden must have a lifetime supply of lucky pennies and 4-leaf clovers because the dude is always seeming to be able to catch a break. Most recently on Thursday, it coming out, the testimony of IRS employees are revealing that the IRS and the DOJ interfered with a tax investigation involving, yes, you guessed it, Hunter Biden and the Biden family. And I have to say, it's just a little bit too perfect for him that this worldwide story about a submarine imploding is making world-breaking news. But this, involving a sitting active president and his son, while he was vice president, all of this is going to come out that he had some very suspicious relationships with other foreign political officials, dignitaries, etc. But we're going to brush that underneath the rug because a submarine exploded in the North Atlantic. But a sitting president having illegal relationships with his son and foreign nationals, yeah, that's totally okay. So if you needed any more proof than Hunter Biden's laptops themselves, there was a WhatsApp message from July 30th of 2017 from Hunter Biden to one Henry Zhao, hopefully I said that correctly, that says, I am sitting here with my father and we would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled. Tell the director that I would like to resolve this now before it gets out of hand. And now means tonight. And Z, if I get a call or text from anyone involved in this other than you, Zhang, or the chairman, I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows, and my ability to forever hold a grudge, that you will regret not following my direction. I am sitting here waiting for the call with my father. I think that's pretty telling, and when Hunter Biden or Joe Biden denies this, I think he got caught red-handed. Let me just simplify this for everybody. Does anyone remember a few years ago when Joe Biden said this?
No, I said, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said, I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
Well, when Trump found out about it, he called up Zelensky and basically said, dude, what the heck? Why are we condoning blackmail from a former administration to a present administration of a different country? And that got Donald Trump impeached. But Joe Biden and Hunter Biden doing the blackmail themselves, that's not impeachable, or at least at the very possible minuscule level prosecutable? So even though it hasn't come out why the Titan imploded or what eventually and inevitably failed and went wrong and caused the death of 5 people, I will say Stockton Rush did make some poor decisions in who he did and didn't hire. And I quote, when I started this business, one of the things you'll find, there are other sub-operators out there, but they are typically have gentlemen who are ex-military submariners. You will see a whole bunch of 50-year-old white guys. He wanted his crew to be inspirational, to have minority groups. So he didn't hire based off of skill, he hired based off of skin color. And I think that might have inevitably caused part of his death. Personally, if I were to build a submarine that was going to go 13,000 feet below the Earth's surface and have all of that pressure on there, I would want the best of the best. I don't really care what color you are or what genitalia you have. I just want to make sure that you can keep me alive. Going for the classic racial profiling wasn't his best choice. And maybe using a game controller to sub and pilot the thing wasn't the best idea either. But that's just my opinion. Now, like they say today, never let a good tragedy go to waste. And this one definitely did not go to waste. But one thing that I definitely can say is common with the Titanic and every event in history is that when our government tells us to look over here or that this is the truth, 99.9% of the time, it's actually not where we should be looking, and it most certainly is not the truth. My advice to everyone would be to question everything, because what we're spoon-fed from the media, whether that be in 2023 today or in 1912 during the Titanic sinking, is that they do not want to tell us the truth, and that there is most always an ulterior motive that they are trying to get across.